And here we are back again, and I have a teacher. His name is Andrew Ferrone. He's written a book called, well, it's a series called Lenny's Life Lessons, and it's mainly about helping kids cope a little bit. And with him, he's brought his illustrator. Well, you see the great illustrations that she's done for the book. And her name is Liza. I want to get that right. Is Liza? Yeah, Liza Salmon. Yes. Right, good. The Lisa, I had Lisa earlier, so I got to get these straight. So we're going to be talking to Andrew about this. Tell us what got you started in writing a book like this.
Really the main thing that prompted this book, A Family for Lenny, was my teaching experience. Over the years teaching in Schenectady, Liza and I both have had many students just that found themselves in difficult situations. And
it's a big mix in the Schenectady School District.
It's a big mix, and it's a great district, and we have a lot of great kids and a lot of great families. But I had one particular student who was struggling with child abandonment. You know, he didn't know his parents, and he had a lot of questions that weren't answered. And so I wanted to find a book that would help kind of him relate and help him cope. And as I searched for books, I found that many of the books had kind of that fairy tale ending, where at the end the child finds the parents and they live happily ever after. And
you knew that this wasn't always going to happen.
No, the reality is, you know, happy endings are possible, but that's not always going to happen. And so the idea behind A Family for Lenny is Lenny finds himself in that situation, and he doesn't ever really have his questions answered, but he does realize he has a family around him. He has people who
what to be thankful for.
Yes, and he has teachers. He has people to talk to when he's feeling sad.
And we're dealing nowadays with families that are kind of like a mixture.
Yes.
It's not the mom, dad, and 2.5 kids anymore. It's a little bit different. Liza, how long have you been illustrating? You're an art teacher, is that correct?
Yes, I am. Well, I've been an art teacher for 9 years, and the actual illustration of the books came about last summer. Lenny was actually inspired by a road trip I took a couple years ago to California, driving through Northern California, stopping at all the souvenir shops, and Bigfoot was such a big, fun thing out there. So I came home and was inspired by just the fun.
We're looking at some of your illustrations right now, yeah.
The fun, jovial idea of Bigfoot. And so I painted just Lenny. He didn't have a name at the time. It was just Lenny, a fun Bigfoot picture. And Andrew came over to my house one day and saw him and the painting of him and said, this would be great for a book. And that's how it all came about.
Well, I mean, it's serendipitous sometimes how these things kind of fall together. Now, how many? It's a series, so how many books have you written?
Well, this is our first and our second book, which
that's ambitious. The first one is called a series.
Yes. And our second book should be released within the next week or two.
Okay.
Those were some of the illustrations that you were just showing, and that's called Partners for Lenny, and that teaches kind of students who struggle with being excluded from student groups and also kind of not feeling comfortable in their own skin. And so
are you going to do anything on bullying?
Yes.
That is a tough thing.
A big thing that we want this series to be is, especially through Facebook, any teachers, anybody that has certain things that they want us to address, I'd love to write books that people need in their classrooms.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Now you have, I noticed I went to your website, and you have workbooks or worksheets or something?
Education right now, it seems like anything that's not Common Core, anything that's not something you can test, you can't tech. So we wanted...
Oh, that is so... Excuse me, I'm digressing.
I know.
That's terrible.
So in order to help teachers kind of bring this into their classrooms, we created also Common Core worksheets, activities, and discussion prompts.
Okay, so they can learn
grades
spelling
K through 5, so
sentence structure.
All, grade level appropriate, and it's really modeled after a lot of the Common Core standards, and the standards are attached. So.
Yeah, because life isn't all Common Core.
No, it's not.
Nope. Yeah, it must be tough for you teachers to have to deal with that. Oh well, they're coming on again. We'll discuss Common Core. I think this is another show.
We'd love to.
But their book, and we have a nice little poster there. But the book is it's an easy read, and the photographs are really beautiful, and they're colored. not photographs, they're paintings.
Paintings,
Yeah,
yes.
but
Yep.
yeah, the paintings in here. And you can find out more about it by going to his website to find out more about the books. And perhaps if you're a teacher and you're watching this, you might, because this show is seen over the next 2 weeks at all different hours, so you might just catch it, you're a teacher. You might want to go to his website and find out if you can use something like this within your module, or whatever you're teaching, maybe incorporate that, because so often we talk about Common Core, but we forget that students are people.
Exactly.
And they're having tough times. Some kids are coming to school without any food. Sometimes, and maybe somebody just had a huge fight or something in that morning, and they've got to go to school and be happy, and it doesn't work that way.
And what's most important is always what's on the piece of paper.
Yeah, that's really, so I think we're in accord there. So, so we have Liza Salmon, and we also have Andrew Ferrone that we've been talking to about Lenny's Life Lessons. If you're interested in this, you can go to his website. We post that right up there. And we'll, again, have this on Facebook, so you can always go to my Facebook page or go to Facebook Schenectady Today in and around the Capital Region to find out more about all of these guests that we have on the show. So thank you both for being here, and keep up the good work, because I think what you're both doing is very important, and kids like to look at pictures while they're reading too, right? Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.